Hello, and welcome to the Bitcoin.review podcast, where we explore developments and projects with the people who actually make them happen. The show is supported by Pod 2.0, Sat Streaming, and CoinKite. If you're a new listener, I'm NVK. I run CoinKite, where we've been helping people secure their Bitcoins for over a decade. We make the cold card and fun products like the block clock. You can find more information about it on CoinKite.com. Hello, and welcome back to the Bitcoin.review, the non-podcast podcast about Bitcoin because nothing is happening. Oh, just a quick reminder that the list is ginormous and you should subscribe to the list as a newsletter, which is available. There is enough there for you to really read yourself to sleep. Today we have a new guest, Mr. Praveen from Cove.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Ben Carman.
Hello. Good to be back.
And Mr. Paul, future Paul.
Hello.
Ooh, ominous thunder here. All right, guys. So why don't we get into it? Seeds are a superpower. I'm just going to leave that out there. Been an interesting week. All right. Let's start with the list. Cove Wallet, version 0.5.1. Praveen is the main maintainer of Cove Wallet, and it just got its first deny on the App Store, so that means it's a couple more and we are going to be listed for the first time. So Praveen, why don't you take it from there? Tell us about Cove, and then maybe go over your latest release notes.
Sounds good. So Cove is the simple Bitcoin wallet. That's what we call it. It's I think who was it? Rob would call it the boomer on-chain only wallet, and I like that description. So Cove is just as much as about what we're not going to support as what we do support. So no multi-sig ever, no lightning ever. The idea is to be super simple, on-chain only, less places for users to get confused. Really focused on UI and UX, made it pretty so new people feel comfortable using it. But just because it's simple, we didn't want to get rid of the power user features as well. So one of the latest releases, we finally added coin control. Other than that, we got basically everything you want, especially good hardware wallet support. So you can import your hardware wallet with BBQR, NFC, or files. We have full PSBT support. So, any hardware wallet that follows the standards you can use with Cove. What else? We got custom fee selection, basically anything that advanced users want, but in a nice, easy to use package.
Right. It's really nice. It's one of those wallets that sort of been missing in the market because, I don't want to send people to Blue Wallet, bless their hearts, but it's got like 50 different things going on there. I find it hard to use harder wallets, and it just wanted a wallet that doesn't have Lightning, doesn't have a bunch of complicated multi-sig stuff. It's just like, hey, Dad, set up this wallet with a seed, right? And then if once Dad is ready to move to a harder wallet, just put a new seed there from a harder wallet and move the coins over, and you're sort of you're still in the same sort of very restrained user interface. So we don't have to move them directly to Sparrow or something like that. It seems super straightforward. I'm really loving the project. There is a test flight and there is a Signal chat for people to give feedback. So, and now soon on the App Store.
Hopefully by the end of this week. I submitted it yesterday, got denied, but hopefully that's the last one. And, we got 2 days. I'm hoping for a Friday release.
Nice. Very nice. And it is BDK based.
Yes, this is the most important part, is that it's built with Rust. This is the app that is built the right way. It has native UI, so it feels like a real app, but it is underpinned by Rust code, so it will work.
And it's more than just Rust code, right? It's See, like it's not like Praveen just decided to write a wallet from scratch, by himself. It's like, okay, so there is this SDK called BDK, Bitcoin Development Kit, that has a lot of eyes on it. It's there's a large install base now, and this is like the perfect app for it to shine, right? Like, so Praveen is actually giving them a lot of feedback. There's a lot of back and forth, and this is it's almost like the test sample bed for BDK, and that's very cool.
This was part of my origin story, was making a very rough iOS BDK app. They had the Swift bindings, and I was able to just kind of use those. And it was like a hackathon project at TabConf. And I even won a little bit of money for it. So that was a really big moment in my Bitcoin development career. But it's nice that there's like a real good iOS app.
It is impressive. The wallet is Coinbase-like UX. You know what I mean? Like, those guys do spend the bucks on the UX. So it is nice to see. And you have a designer working with you, right?
Yep. So his name is Adrian. I knew him from Canada when I was there. Yeah. So because of BDK, I was able to really focus on the UX, UI kind of stuff, because they do basically all the hard, Bitcoin related stuff. So I could focus on really like interaction with hardware wallets and just UX in general. And Adrian's been great at the UI. We really went for like if Apple made a wallet, what would it look like on iOS? Because we were doing native Swift, we wanted it to really look like it really looked like an iOS specific wallet. So I think we did a pretty good job of that. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, if I had to do the design myself, it would not look nearly as good.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right. So your release notes, anything there that is notable?
Yeah, I mean, coin control is definitely the big one. The way we do coin control, since we still wanted to keep it simple for maybe users that don't know what coin control is, if you just hit the send button, you're not going to get any UTXO coin control kind of stuff. It's just going to be, hit the amount, enter the address, and send. But, there's a 3-dot menu that's like an advanced user section. If you go to manage UTXOs, you'll see all your UTXOs. You can search for them, sort them, filter them. And then from there, you can select and send what you want. Other than that, we had some bug fixes and just some design tweaks, make it look a little nicer. And for the App Store release, we just had to add a terms and conditions pop-up that you have to agree to before you can continue.
Nice. I see that you guys added a warning if fee is more than 20% of the amount, so people don't accidentally send a bunch of money out.
Yes, that was one of the ones I added. So if it's the fee's more than 20%, we'll give you a warning. We'll still let you do it. But if it's more than 100%, we just won't let you send it at all. So that's just I kind of just picked those amounts off the top of my head, but maybe we can tweak it later. Well, what do you do for Cold Card? I know there's some warnings there too.
Yeah, so I think we have 5% is the default. You can change to a few, and you can also just YOLO, but you have to go into the settings to change that. Yeah, we have a few things like that. We also give a warning, and well, not really a warning. It's like a positive warning when you're sending to yourself. We let the user know that they're sending to themselves. So if they're like, I don't know, moving UTXOs to consolidate or something like that, it's nice. It's like around, like we have a lot of these little things to remove foot guns.
Yeah, I have something like that in the send flow. If you are sending to yourself, on the confirmation screen, you can press the address and it'll show you which UTXOs are the inputs and which ones are outputs. And if it's a consolidation, it'll say send to self instead of I think it's called sending out or something.
Very cool.
What was it like integrating BDK? Like, I know some people have issues with just dealing with all the different Rust types or different syncing methods. Like, was it easy for you, or?
I think it was probably easier for me because most of my logic is in Rust. So I try to write as much of it in Rust as possible and then do just the UI in Swift. And the reason for that is I'm betting that when I finally do make the Android version, it'll go much faster this way because I just have to do the UI. Most of it was really good. It gave some feedback to BDK on some stuff, and they've already added like documentation for fixing that stuff. I think it was mostly around like syncing, like what is a full sync versus full scan, whatever. Yeah, overall, very good. Honestly, the part I had the hardest time with BDK, and they're working on this, was just like the fees, because to get accurate fees, you have to like build the PSBT first and then go from there. So it's kind of like you have to build it twice, but little stuff like that, but mostly very good experience.
It's kind of like a double neck sack problem. Like you need to know the size of it in order to, yeah. Very cool. Any things we should know on the roadmap?
Yeah, roadmap. So Android app definitely on the roadmap. What else? PayJoin. I want to add PayJoin. I was thinking of silent payment, but that's not going to be for a while because it doesn't support Taproot, and I don't think I will until like at least you guys support like more hardware wallet support for Taproot. I think I'm going to wait for. What else did I talk about?
I don't think we can support silent payments on Cold Card because I think you need to support the CDH, and we don't support it. So there's some other primitives there that I think are needed. I think it's silent payments like that. I can't remember. There were reasons.
Maybe in like CK bunker mode you could, but yeah, I think you need a private key hot to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's tricky.
And then we also want to support Kyoto, which is a compact block filters.
Nice.
For BDK. Just like better ways of connecting to the node. I'm not sure. I know like no one's done this, but I'd love to have some kind of bad entropy detector. Like if somebody just like tries to import a wallet that's just like 0, like abandoned all the way through, because that's the wallet I use for testing most of the time. And then I noticed like while I was testing, there was like a 2 million sat transaction like a couple months ago. Just poof. Whoever stole it only got to keep 300 sats because everything went to fees. But yeah, that like even if it's just like you detect like the lowest entropy ones, that that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then eventually I'm thinking of like a desktop build as well, Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. Mac OS first.
Those could just start being the phone wallet, just sort of like, it's kind of how people do the apps, like to work on tablets. They sort of like have the UI sort of like go into side components kind of thing or something like that. Or are you going to like actually put in the...
Well, for Mac, yeah, that would be the easy version, just kind of blowing up the current UI. But I would like to actually make a real desktop version that takes advantage of the added screen real estate.
The XPub between the phone and the desktop through iCloud or something like that?
Sorry, say that again.
Would you sync the XPub?
Oh,
because with iCloud, you can just sort of, you can have like the key encrypted in the app storage, whatever the fuck, and then so then you don't have to have the two wallets being separate. They just sync the labels as well.
Yeah, that I would love to do that. Definitely iCloud would be like the easiest, but I've also been looking at this Rust library called IRO. Fediman is using it. Basically, it just helps connect like direct connections between devices. So I think I'll still leave the iCloud option for those who want it, because that's definitely going to be the easiest. But it would be cool for the people that don't want to put anything on the cloud, just to connect directly the two devices, as long as one of them is on. Yeah, I would love that. That's another thing I want to integrate.
Very cool. All right. Any other things you want to mention, or?
I got the funds on the way. I'm gonna soon to be rich.
There you go.
Cove rich.
I'm just gonna load abandon, and I'm gonna magically get some funds. Isn't that how it works?
Oh, I've been looking into join markets.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to add like a UI to that. You'd still need to like connect it to.
Yeah, so JM is tricky.
Yeah,
because you have to run it hot. You'd probably have to be on the desktop.
I think like if some people are running join market on their, like people that run like node in a box kind of stuff.
Ooh.
If they run it on their node, you could connect it to that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. But also like there's nothing like the makers don't need to be on all the time. Sorry, not the makers. Like if you're the taker, you don't need to be on all the time, right? You just go in and
no, you do. You do. Yeah, because you're looking for the next round and then it goes.
You might be able to get around it with like push notifications or something, where it's just like it's time to sign, push notification.
Yeah, that could be cool.
I mean, it degrades privacy a little bit, but you can encrypt the stuff.
I mean, it could be a non-doxing sort of like push, right? Like notification.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened. We're not going to say what. But
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we desperately, just as a tangent, we desperately need a better joint market GUI client. I found Gem to not work, and the command line is just, it's way above beyond what people can use. But the thing is, like, somebody needs to spend some serious time understanding joint markets. It's not just like you just build like a GUI for the APIs and done. It's like there is some love that needs to be put into it because there's quite a lot to the settings, and the settings is what keeps them going for you, and you have to tweak them, especially as fees change. It needs some love.
It doesn't work about Jam. I haven't used it, but it just it looks pretty.
Yeah, exactly, but it doesn't work. Like you get stuck, and then you have to go change settings. That's the problem. It's and it's also like JavaScript, right? Like, which I don't want Bitcoin things JavaScript involved.
Python.
No, I'm listen, if you want to go full rusty crusty, that's cool too. Like go rusty crusty. Like
I thought Rust is woke now.
Yeah, it's always been.
You really should write it in Zig, actually.
Rust is whoa, but so many Bitcoiners are taking it over. I'm hoping, we chase the blue hairs off. That's my long-term vision. More Bitcoiners need to use Rust so we can take it over.
We just need to rename it. I proposed this when they had the copyright bullshit against Bitcoin. It's just rename it to Crust, and and you can have your crusty crates. Like you'll be really cool.
Name it Two Genders.
By the way, Crust is genderless. Is not, Anyways, very, very cool. Thanks for working on this. It's fully FOSS too.
Yep.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. One more thing I want to say. I think in Bitcoin, more like developers should just like do what I accidentally fell into and like find a designer. They don't even need to know Bitcoin that well. Cause like Adrian wasn't a Bitcoiner, which kind of maybe helped because like he's especially for something like this. Cause he's like, wait, what does this do? So I have to explain everything to him. Right. And just one designer, one dev. And
yeah,
I think you can make it great.
Yeah. I've pushed for designers to apply to OpenSats as well, if they're paired with a dev, because unfortunately, it doesn't matter how pretty a design is. It needs a dev to make it exist, right? So
yeah, no, for sure.
That's the packing order. But I really wish more people would pair up with a designer and sort of like work that way. You can build a business, right? Like you now have a partner there too. It's like there is a lot to that. And it's very cool. All right. Harbor.cash. What is that?
Yeah, Ben texted me this week that we have to launch it this week. So as a revenge from me, I invited him on the Bitcoin Review podcast.
Crap.
This is how our relationship works.
Yeah, it's really passive aggressive, but very productive.
Yeah. Paul is my designer friend that I get to work with, but he also builds the front end, which is great. So I don't have to do that part.
And meanwhile, Ben has been in Windows build. Harbor has been basically ready for a while. It's just the building. It's like Apple, of course, doesn't want you to make an app for their platform. Microsoft doesn't want you to make a app for their platform. And Linux, you would think be better, but no. Nobody wants you to actually ship a desktop app. There's just weirdly, just a lot of hoops to jump through, and it's just not very fulfilling work but anyways, we have builds now, so we're ready to release the 1.0 of Harbor. It's a privacy focused desktop eCash wallet. It's also built in Rust, but the front end is built in Rust as well, using the iced GUI framework. So it's just pure Rust, and it It uses some of the new stuff where we can connect.
Not a WPA, right?
No,
Oh, thank God.
it's just a Rust app. And we got some nice stuff from that for like, connecting the Tor by default. We support Fediment and Cashew. It's a multi-mint wallet, so you can join a bunch of different mints and move your funds around between them. It's like a little transfer screen.
Here's the binary I'm trying to download.
It's on the release page. I don't think we've actually pushed the button to get the 1.0 live.
They do it and then get the repo build on the bot, the binary wallet.
On the website. Oh, and binary watch, that'd be a good idea.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely, especially for shit like this. Okay, so let me click here and release this.
I was using Iced because that's something I briefly considered as well, like using something that's full Rust, but
yeah, it's kind of dumb little things like, for some reason I can't figure out how to load fonts. So I just use the system default font. It was pretty easy to style, and I really like the architecture we ended up with. It's, it's kind of this Elm architecture. It's just very, very clear what the state of the wallet UI is in all times. So I feel really confident that it's solid in the UI, which is cool, and I don't normally get with any other way of building front ends. But at the same time, it's just not nearly, I feel like, mature enough to really unseat something like Atari or Electron or actual native UI. If you want like true UI polish, if you want it to actually feel native, it's not going to work out. But it's good enough, I think, for this use case where our goal was to keep it all Rust and have a real security focus.
So okay, so let's you said a lot of words about what Harbor is, but like if you had to actually say like what actually is, so is it like a wallet for eCash?
Yes, it's a multi-mint wallet for eCash. So you install this desktop app on your computer, you open it up, you write down your words.
Wait, are you using seeds?
Oh yeah, we love seeds.
Big fan.
No, you can't use seeds anymore.
Funny enough, they're actually mildly useless for us because if you use Cashew, you can't recover your tokens. So
you need state.
Yeah, the state is really important, sadly.
So are you encrypting the state DB with the seed? Is that the...
We do it with the Fediment DB, not with the Cashew DB. The Cashew library or CDK didn't support that. And
okay, so the eCash is not Cashew, is Fedi stuff?
we support both. So we have Fediment and Cashew.
Cool. Yeah, I can't find the releases, and I don't want to build it because I don't have your stack on my...
If you go to Harbor.cash, there's a link in the devlog for the release page.
Devlog releases here. I'll make a pull request. I'll vibe your updated website and make a pull request.
We have it ready. I just gotta push it once 1.0 is out.
Just do it on air.
All right. Well, 1.0 is not out, but I'll push it. That's fine.
Okay.
Get status.
Okay.
1.0.
Guys, we're doing this on air. Like real man.
Think changes.
Okay, releases.
So with this multi-mint, can't you send from multiple mints to like one payment be multiple mints or no?
We don't support that yet, but I know that's possible now. I don't know. Does CDK support that yet, Ben?
I think we could do it with CDK. Fediment doesn't support it. Like it was like a year ago or something. I made a PR and like actually did it with Fediment, but then they rewrote their entire Lightning module, and my PR never got merged.
Right. I'm YOLO opening this on my computer.
Nice.
Did you guys sign it with an Apple key?
No.
Yeah, it is. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
The Windows signing was hell.
Yeah. I had to like buy a flash drive from Europe.
They do that kind of hell just so that scammers have a harder time.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot more vulnerabilities with Windows.
Members are more financially incentivized to go through the trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, I just also YOLO a password that I'll definitely not remember. I have to trash this one.
Good.
Add mints to get started.
It should get on Mac. It should get saved in your keychain.
There is no list. Oh, it didn't offer to save.
Look very nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Are you guys using BDK for anything here, or just mint stuff?
Just mint stuff. But we do support sending to on-chain, which is cool. That was not a thing.
Yes.
Cashew doesn't receive on-chain, but Fedimint does, supports that well now, which was not the case a few months ago.
There is no list of mints to click on.
Yeah, and that's the whole problem with Harbor, is that who will run the mints is still kind of an unsolved problem. And, we don't feel comfortable endorsing it.
Is there like a website that lists mints and then you just sort of like list from that and just say like, just wash your hands, like here, pick from this list?
I guess we could link to I always use Bitcoin mints. So I guess we could just link to that.
So can you send from like cashew mints to Fedi mints using like Lightning or something?
Yeah. So there's like a transfer tab. So if you have 2 mints added, you go to the transfer tab and pick which mint you want to send and receive. And yeah, they just send over Lightning.
Yeah, we don't really expose the actual like eCash part at all, really. Like, it's just, we just have like Lightning invoices, pay and send and receive. Like, I guess we could add like scan a QR for the actual tokens, but no one really uses it as far as I know.
So this is funny. So I lost whatever app, because I don't remember the name of cashew that I had on my phone. And now it's like it's lost. I just don't know which app. And it's not on any page. So like, I know I have nuts on my phone.
This happens to me with AI apps. I like find a cool like image generator online. I'm like, oh, I love using this. And I sign up and I just forget what it's called that I can never find it again.
It's so funny. Like, and it's gone.
So I don't think I'm not super into eCash, but I don't think I've seen this before where they mixing cashew and Fedimint together, right? Is this like one of the first?
I think we're the first. Ben, do you know of anybody that's doing this?
He kind of did, right? I guess.
Oh yeah, we could like melt cashew.
Yeah, we only had melting.
I missed that. What's the website again for the mints?
BitcoinMints.com.
BitcoinMints.com.
BitcoinMints.com. All right. They have reviews. Normally, you just go for the one that has the most amount. Oh, shit. It doesn't show how much money they have in them.
I don't think that's... I guess for Fedimints, it's public. I don't know if it's public for Cashew Mints.
Okay.
Do they have an API you can just like pull down a JSON or no?
Yeah.
The data's all over Nostr, so I use Nostr through API.
Oh, it's from Nostr. Okay, cool.
Do you guys pipe all the connections through Tor by default?
Yeah.
By default, yeah. You can turn it off if you want to speed things up.
No. I don't. Money should be slow, deliberate, and not break anything, including your privacy.
You say that, and then you try to test the new button you added, and you're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't have time for this.
Okay, so this is interesting. Failed to join Mint. And this was mini bits.
Oh, they might be still. I remember they were at one point they were running an old version.
Network mismatch, expected signet.
Oh, you got to change it to mainnet. Oh, okay, we got to do that before release.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a 1.0 feature is mainnet by default.
Mainnets. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
I sent during this call. I sent from. Let's see, which Mento was I in? I was in School of Sats, and I, with an egregious fee, sent on-chain from School of Sats to Cove using Harbor. So this call is fully integrated for me.
Great. Okay, so there you go.
Bitcoin is working.
Speaking of signets, should I keep ability to change between testnet and signet and mainnet in Cove? Because like I don't want normal like everyday users to get confused, but like I think it's also nice for devs like if they need a wallet to test out with.
What would happen if I already have this wallet? I see in settings I can choose network. If I switch this wallet to Signet, what would happen?
You can't switch the wallet to Signet. It just becomes it's just a whole different set of wallets. Kind of like just kind of like a decoy wallet set. Or
can I deposit a base layer into Harbor?
With if you're in a Fediment, yes. So when you go to deposit, if it's a Fediment that supports it,
how do I find a Fediment mint?
On Bitcoin Mints.
Oh, same website. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, here, found it. School of Sat. There you go.
How do you know which ones are Fediments?
Fediment.
I love that this is a list show, but we're really doing an actual software review.
Yeah.
It's just user testing.
Yeah.
Bitcoin review. That makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, you can see that like the Cashew Mints list like supported nuts.
Oh yeah.
And then Fediment's list supported modules.
So this whole website's all over Nostr?
That's my understanding, yeah.
That's cool.
Were we pulling the same data when we did it in Mutiny?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you can transfer between them. This is cool. So like, if somebody goes here and just dumps like 50 Bitcoin, is it does it work?
Well, that's why Cashew doesn't want to add on-chain receive, because there's no way to like cap.
No, that's perfect. Bitcoin is non-consensual receive. Love it.
Yeah.
How does it work with Fedi? Do they send back to the sending address? How do they say no?
I don't think they say no. It's just
they take it.
For a while, on-chain receive wasn't. Ben can explain why, but on-chain receive was not available to Fediment because certain transaction types would not show up. You'd be burning.
Yeah, and for Fediment, it's technically like only on-chain. The Lightning is like a side thing where they have like the gateway and all that stuff. So like for them, they have to support on-chain. Every sat is on-chain.
Are you guys gonna add also a Lightning wallet to this? Because I see my mint balances.
So it can send and receive Lightning, but like adding like we could add like LDK to do like real Lightning, but I don't know. I feel it's out of scope and it's gonna way overcomplicate it.
No, it's cool. I'm just trying to understand sort of like what makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Spark maybe. I don't know a ton about it, but I've been playing around with it a bit in JavaScript, and it seems it's nice and fast, and it's I don't know the privacy trade-offs.
Yeah, the problem with Spark is it doesn't have great privacy. So as like you'd be like choosing one that has less privacy, so you'd have to like kind of warn the user.
Very cool, guys. I think people are gonna love this. It seems like a very good step into privacy, but I think we should really focus on describing this as a wallet for Cashew and Fedi, eCash. But I think this is a big step in privacy, and people should definitely try it out. Anything on the roadmap that people should know?
We've just got to get this out there. We've been sitting on it a little too long. So I would, if people have feedback and needs and desires, stuff that would actually be really useful to them, like let us know.
Very good.
But I want to make sure this is, really what it's useful to people before we put a lot more work into it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our one thing we had on our roadmap was like what Praveen talked about being able to like send like one big payment across mints, and as well as like automatic rebalancing where like say you're in like 10 Cashew mints and you just deposit like 1 million sats into one. It'd be nice if you're like spread out that risk across.
You know what I just remembered? There is no Lightning wallet for the desktop. Like you can download an app that is for your phone into a Mac through the App Store, but all of them use iCloud to keep state, and it often corrupts the iCloud. So you guys might need to be the first to add a Lightning wallet, just so that, even if it's like some pseudo thing, whatever, in Lightning Boondongle world, just so that you have a place to sort of move money around.
The beauty with kind of the dream with Harbor is that it's something that you can use to achieve privacy without really having to learn a lot.
Yes. Consolidated balance does that.
That kind of goes away a little bit once you add Lightning.
You think so? What do you have to, like, you'll be just like the Mint. You just press a button, you have a new wallet. It's like Phoenix D or some shit like that.
I just don't think you can really hide the node management or channel management. And if you do, and even if you do manage to hide it, you're still going to have it, there's privacy.
Right. Okay, so it's Rodolfo, suck it up.
If you're going to open a channel with your own on-chain funds,
All right. No, it's cool. Makes sense.
But I would love, that'd be a really fun project to make a real slick, up in the Mac toolbar, just like paste in an invoice and gets paid.
Yeah.
My desktop Lightning wallet would be really nice to have.
Very cool. All right, boys. Very nice. All right. Next is Sparrow Wallet. It's too bad we don't have Craig here today. Version 2.2.2. It's a small update from the last one. Retrieve and show next block medium fee rate in recent blocks view where available. He updated the Tor library on the previous version and did a bunch of little things. Let's see. And he was here for version 2.2.0, I think. Yes. So we've covered all that, I believe. Johnny can correct me.
A personal hero of ability to package apps for the desktop.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you use sort of like this more enterprise-like languages and things like Java, there is a lot more out there to package to multiple systems because that's what enterprise often needs. It is one of the worst sort of packages to deploy onto phones, so it's very difficult in that sense. I know that Android has Java support, but still it's not quite there. But now we have Cove, and then that could be a nice little solution for the people who need a Sparrow like on the phone. All right, BDK chain version 0.23.0. This release of BDK chain introduces a new option to cache persistent derived script keys, pub keys, improving performance on key TX alt index startup and a bunch of other things. They also released the BDK pretty much everything else.
So I think BDK is recently going through they're kind of splitting up the main. I think it was more like all in one package, just splitting it up into different stuff. So people that just need something here and there can just take what they need. And I think chain is one of those things.
Yes. Very cool. Liana version 11, add multiple wallet support, add coin control for recovery transactions, add new RPC command to list addresses that have been revealed to the user, whether or not in use, add ability in the GUI to view unused addresses that were previously used, add support air gap flow SD card for cold card and crooks signing devices. It also include various improvements and fixes. It's nice to see Liana moving. What else? Nunchuk Android version 1.68.1, custom blockchain explorer, ability to archive wallets, ability to long press and reorder wallets on home, anti-fee sniping setting.
What's anti-fee sniping setting?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Normally that's like you set your lock time to like a nearby block. So basically miners don't reorg to like get your high fee transactions. It's not really a thing yet today, but when subsidy is 0, people expect it to be a possible thing.
Go Bitcoin Mobile, they finally launched. It's also BDK based. Version 5.0.0, the entire application has been re-architected for the ground up to ease of adding new features, debugging, and collaboration. They support a bunch of privacy stuff like LN swaps and pay join. It's super cool to see Exchange Broker having a good app that does support Bitcoin properly, and it does have some privacy in mind. Boo is great.
I need to check out this new UI. We did a critique of the last UI, which is a little chaotic, a little outsider art, I would say. So hopefully it's a little cleaner, but also, and they're using the liquid swap kind of stuff, which Breeze also does now with their nodeless SDK. I am working on an unannounced wallet project that uses it. Right now we're using Breeze nodeless. We're looking into Spark. It's kind of slow, so it's not like the UX you want for like your all the time Lightning wallet. Personally, I think, but I think I think for the bull Bitcoin use case, it makes a lot of sense.
I wonder if this release has the hardware wallet support, because I know they were.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's on their to-do list, immediate to-do list, which is also another very cool thing to have, like an exchange with hardware wallet support, with seeds. Amazing.
It needs seeds.
I know. Vendor agnostic. Blue Wallet version 7.1.8. Single address taproot wallet support, search TX, and managed wallets, search address. Still waiting on them to add barbecue QR. They're going to get left behind, but it's nice to see the wallet being updated. Bitkey App version 2025.10.0 introduced Security Hub, display all security and recovery settings in one place with clear recommendations that help take the gas out of protecting your Bitcoin. Now you guys just need to add some information about all your trade-offs and the privacy issues and the fact that, there's a lot of trade-offs there.
They have recovery contact. It's interesting.
Yeah, so I think they have some social recovery options, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Cloud backup.
Were you guys in Vegas?
No.
Their booth was like the biggest booth ever at the conference. Like there's always a line. Seems like they're selling like hotcakes. So,
and they had that big sign that said "Lose your seed," right?
Something like that. So the marketing, I guess, is working, but I mean, choose your own risk.
Yes, it's a lot of risk.
I don't understand why they didn't just stick to the initial marketing of like this is a great starter wallet, way better than Exchange, but here's trade-offs. Like, I think everybody liked them when they were like, hey, this is a different entry into the market, fills a different gap. Like, they don't need to try and be everything.
And my guess is there's no real sales there. It's like you're selling a $100-something device to a user who like wants to store like $100-something. Like, if you want to store more than that, then you want like a real hardware wallet, so you need to market it towards them.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Nobody wants to buy something knowing they'll have to buy something in the future, I guess.
Exactly.
I would highly discourage people from using this for real money. It's the wrong kinds of trade-offs. Yeah, guys, come on, get your shit together. Go back to marketing that makes sense. You guys were supposed to give a shit about Bitcoin. It must be all the Coinbase hires. RobotSats version 0.7.8 for users, new coordinator Libri Bazaar, new payment method Nomad, and they updated a bunch of stuff. FullyNoded updated version 0.1.1-beta, add icons to display join market session, coin join and maker status, dedicated button for figuring out join markets network. Oh yeah, so man, I forgot his name now. The FullyNoded maintainer is drawing a blank on me. But Fontaine?
Yeah.
He mentioned on Twitter that he's working on possibly making a join market native UI. So maybe he's going to be the hero we don't deserve. That'd be really cool. Zaprite version 2025-05-26 enable new autopay feature for all accounts, enable autopay and customer card management for Stripe connections, add Misty, Breeze, LN URL integration, a bunch of other stuff. I see a lot more Zaprite invoices coming to our inbox from vendors that work with us. So props to them.
Is Zaprite, mutual friend, the Maple, try Maple. Just launched Bitcoin payments in the iOS app. Now that Apple legally can't stop people from doing different kinds of payments in apps. So they're using Zaprite in there. And that's just, they're pretty sure it's the first app to support Bitcoin payments and like Bitcoin payments for the app's services inside an iOS app.
Okay. That was Open Secrets pickup.
I think right now they're mostly focusing on Maple, which is, Open Secret is powering that. But I don't know. I haven't talked to them specifically about clients of Open Secret. But I'm excited to use Open Secret as a platform for some of the stuff I'm working on.
Yeah.
When I talk to them, the Maple is going really well though. Like their problem is they have users spinning up extra accounts because they run out of tokens too fast. So users are too happy with the product for them. So I feel like that's a good problem to have.
BoltzExchange updated Padawan Wallet. So Padawan was the task wallet for BDK, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like, Cove might become the test wallet for BDK. So that should be interesting there.
But Padawan's Android.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking. I was talking with Steve. I think they still need example wallets because they use the bindings, and I'm using Rust directly. So,
oh right.
So at least for developers that want to get an idea of how to use the bindings, Cove is not really helpful for that.
Cool. Blockstream Green, Android version 5. Didn't they just rename it again?
Yeah, I think it's just Blockstream Wallet now.
They've updated. Still missing PSPT, guys. Samourai Dojo version 1.27.0. This is the backing server for Samourai Wallet and other light wallets. So that was updated. ESP-Miner was updated. NBXplorer was updated. That's a minimalist UTXO tracker for HD wallets. The goal is to provide a flexible .NET-based UTXO tracker for HD wallets.
Didn't it just have a vulnerability where someone mined a Coinbase with a weird version number and it broke it?
Oh boy. Mempal version 1.5.3, a Bitcoin mempool monitoring and notification app for Android. All right, project spotlights. DahLIAS, discrete logarithm-based interactive aggregated signatures. Bitcoin first full signature aggregation scheme for SecP 256K1. Very cool. The paper was doing the rounds this last little bit.
So this is everyone always talks oh, we want cross input signature aggregation. This is the first step of if we're going to do that, this is the cryptography we'd use. So
yeah, people have been waving their hands and screaming we want it for the last, I don't know, fucking 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
So now we have at least some sort of
another 5 years to integrate. No, but this is super awesome.
What do I need this for? What's the use case for this?
We'd soft fork it into Bitcoin one day and your transactions would be 10% cheaper.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And you get there's a bunch of privacy benefits too. Manna Bitcoin, a self-custodial spending wallet featuring merchant tools for point of sale interface. Darkwire, project that enables off-grid communications and Bitcoin transactions using LoRa technology. Nice. I'll check that out. Parasite Pool, an open source Bitcoin mining pool with zero fees that offer Lightning native payouts with 10 Satoshi threshold for home miners. Cool. Blockpicker, a tool to create entropy for a seed phrase by picking blocks. Yeah. No. I'm sure it's cool. I don't want to piss off whoever created it. I haven't looked into it, but please be careful. Lock protocol, a Bitcoin-based access protocol for encrypted secrets. Sigbash, a tool to sign blindly after conditions are met. Oh, that's our ARB out project. It's very cool. I hope he spins this into a proper business soon. It's I like to call it a buy an Xpub kind of service. Arkade OS, a virtual execution layer that transforms VTXOs and transaction trees into programmable money while maintaining security guarantees. That's based on Arc.
Yeah, they're basically like doing like a whole new programming language on top of Arc. So they're trying to like, I don't know, compete with all these BitVM people.
Right.
Kind of interesting. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, it should be cool. The challenge is always making these things work. Swift Bitcoin, pure Swift Bitcoin library and full node implementation with minimal dependencies. So this is interesting. It's for people to make wallets, I guess.
I like that his name on Twitter is not Craig Wright.
That's already a win right there.
And his GitHub name is Craig Wrong.
That's good.
Pythia, Rust implementation of P2P derivative Oracle for DLC trading. Arcana Seed Lodge, a Bitcoin wallet experience shaped by memory, mystery, and map-based entropy. BIP47 message verifier, a verifier for messages signed with BIP47 notification addresses. Cool. Traxe, a iOS app to track your Bitcoin home miners. Censorship Resistant, a website offering an overview of Bitcoin security model, attack vectors, economic incentives, potential attack vectors, and decentralization of mining. Bitcoin for All, a comprehensive open source Bitcoin course with 10 lessons in Portuguese, English, and Spanish. It was developed by the Area Bitcoin folks and supported by OpenSats. All right, vulnerability disclosures. Coinbase data breach attack. 1 million customer records were leaked, probably more. And it looked like it was all their salespeople or stuff. They have access to all customer information, including all their transactions. So this is like absolutely horrific. It goes to show that you can't trust as fucks, if anything. Coinbase is horrible. Don't use Coinbase.
My dream is eventually to sue the U.S. government for KYC
damages.
Yeah, like look at this grandma, lost all her money or her identity was stolen or whatever because of these breaches. And you can you could prove, I don't know. I've had a lot of chats with Gemini about this. Like, it's hard to sue the government for damages. You have to prove it's being unconstitutional. But, these KYC laws, they're supposed, when you make a regulation, you're supposed to explain the potential downsides and drawbacks, right?
Yeah.
And so I think possibly the US government's underplaying the inevitability that all KYC requirements lead to all data being hacked.
The problem is not enough politicians have Bitcoin. But once all politicians have Bitcoin and they get their homes knocked by bad people that got their information from an exchange hack, then these things change fast.
Right. That would be great. I hope so. Yeah, it feels like it's one of those things where it's like we've lived with it long enough that people start to feel like this is normal and this is just inevitable. This is just it just has to be like this, and so there's a lot of momentum that just keeps it like this. But
KYC, it's so weird, right? Like anything and everywhere you go do something, they can I have your phone number? Can I have your ID? Can I have your name? Like, no. Why, creep? The answer should always be no, and don't be afraid of giving the wrong number. It really is it's so embedded now in society, and people are people grow up now sort of being okay with sending a selfie holding their passport, right? It's such a horrific thing. But KYC is the illicit activity. All right, Ledger Donjon vulnerability in Tangent Android genuine check process. Nice. A code flaw in Tangent Android app allows counterfeit hardware wallets to pass verification checks. For people that don't know, this is sort of like one of those, it's kind of like a tap signer. It's like a NFC card, but supports all the shitcoins. And their security model essentially depends on the wallet being checked by the app for authenticity. and good on the Donjon boys to break it and them fixing it. So that's a nice find. CVE 2023-21 56.3 BitLocker encryption.
By the way, this is it is a simple Boolean check, and like I'm vibe coding like crazy right now, and I love vibe coding, but this is actually, as far as I know, one of the more common kinds of bugs that you get when vibe coding is it's like, because it doesn't understand the code. It's going for something that looks right, and you can get so close to right, but just be kind of one character off and flip a Boolean basically.
Well, don't vibe code money code or anything related to the cryptography.
You'd be scared how many Bitcoin devs are vibe coding these days.
I bet there's a lot of PR review that's based on that too. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, yeah.
It's not there yet. That's the thing. Like, it feels like it is because he makes very cool websites. He makes some cool shit, but it's not there yet. He replaces the junior people. It doesn't even replace the mead people yet.
Not the protocol engineers.
Yeah. Anyways, BitLocker encryption bypassed in minutes with Bitpixie vulnerability. Oh, wow. A critical software-only vulnerability called Bitpixie enables attackers to bypass Microsoft's BitLocker encryption in under 5 minutes without physical tampering. Jesus. Man, BitLocker has been a disaster since the very first day. Remember when they were passing the cipher through unencrypted through the main bus of the laptop, so you could just like probe it and you get like the cipher.
Genius.
Like, amazing. So just don't use anything from Microsoft. It's not that complicated. There is no reason anymore.
Gaming. You can't run games on anything else.
Yeah, but just do your gaming there, I guess. Don't game.
Yeah, just don't play games.
That's the real solution.
Don't play games. Have kids instead.
Yeah, there you go. Go vibe code.
Yeah, vibe code a kid.
All right, software releases and project updates for privacy stuff. So SimpleX updated, NomadNet updated, Sidebed updated. Molvard introduces Molvard VPN Loader, an application that automatically verifies integrity and authenticity of downloaded app installations on Windows and Mac OS.
I will say, if Molvad VPN Loader is what it sounds like I feel like instead of all this rigmarole that these operating systems put to like signing apps, like if they were dedicated and like trying to like steer you into their app stores, which nobody really likes or uses very much on desktop, if they were just really focused on this kind of like, hey, we could
just PGP. Don't create some fucking complicated shit.
Yeah.
Just like, does the PGP signature checks.
Yeah. Like way less LARPing and much closer to, clearly this is delivered from the person who's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, everything should really be on binary watch bot. That really helps. Signal desktop update, a Mempal update, KYC.not.me, a directory of trustworthy alternatives for buying, exchanging, trading, and using Bitcoin cryptocurrencies without having to disclose identity. That's cool.
Well, the Signal desktop update is wild. They're using DRM tech to block Microsoft's screen recorder.
That's awesome. Remember, right? Like, enterprise computers are all being watched, right?
Yeah. Well, and they also, Microsoft is like trying to this is their AI vision, is that they just watch your screen at all times so that they can help you.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
We need to add that to Harbor.
And it probably uploads to ChatGPT because they own 10% or something of OpenAI.
But this DRM stuff, it bothers me so much. Like, I just want to screenshot like a funny thing that happened on Netflix, and like I can't.
No, dude, like even Reddit. You want to download an image from Reddit. It literally like takes 2 minutes because they want to add the Reddit watermark on it.
Oh gosh.
Or Twitter that doesn't let me download.
Like we don't even own our computers sometimes.
I know, like YouTube doesn't let you just press download a video. Like that kind of shit pisses me off.
But you can't take a screenshot of Netflix, like on like a Mac or something.
No.
On your phone, you definitely can't.
No, you definitely can't on like iOS.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you like do the screenshot button. It's just blank black if you do it on like any like movie app.
They do that for WhatsApp as well. If you have a secret message.
So that's smart.
This is the funny thing that like, because people use those secret messages to do dirty stuff, right? And what's funny though is that like the kids go and they take a picture of the phone, like with the friend's phone, and then it leaks even further. Brutal.
Or it's just Snapchat where you just get the notification. Someone screenshotted your message.
Yeah. Oniux, a tool that utilizes various Linux namespaces in order to isolate an arbitrary application over Tor network. Lightning plus L2 plus. Routester, a decentralized LLM routing marketplace powered by Nostr and Bitcoin. For all the people who are ultra horny about Nostr and AI right now, for fuck's sake, please be careful. There is no forward privacy right now in those requests. So if you lose your private key, all your messages are known. So yeah, MLS is coming, and there's going to be forward privacy on Nostr soon.
Isn't this Routester Jack's project?
I don't know, man. They're vibe coding a bunch of stuff.
Maybe not.
No, I think this one is not by. It's not by them.
He tweeted about it, but yeah, maybe it's not his.
This one is by
Vin Yang?
doesn't know.
Room.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. LN email, fast anonymous email accounts powered by Lightning Bitcoin Network. That's interesting. So 1,000 sats for 1 year email. That's not bad. And that does prevent spam. That's cool. Do you choose the domain? Anyways, I'll look into it more. Very nice.
Receiving only, no IMAP access.
If it's receive only, it's useless. I know, I guess you can use it for signing up for websites.
Well, they have send in their API at least.
I'm just reading the notes. The service limitations, receiving only.
Yeah, send email. They have a curl.
Their website says you can send. That's cool. There's an API. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like hook up your business to this.
All right. Lightning Blinder, a trick an LSP into thinking one wallet is the sender or recipient when it really is some other wallet. Phoenix D, MCP server, connect Phoenix D Bitcoin Lightning wallet.
Finally, add you can vibe code some Lightning payments on CoinKite.
There you go. We are running Phoenix D for some tests on some stuff, and also looking at Zeus. So we might be closer than ever to maybe having Lightning on our store. But in good fashion, we're only going to launch the things when nobody's interested on it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we need to change to, I think the most important part is to change to Back32 at some point.
Really?
Yeah, we're still on one addresses.
I'm surprised you're changing. You've been so adamant.
Makes no difference, and it's more secure. Emboss Rails, a liquidity provider service allowing Bitcoin treasuries and custodians to earn yield while maintaining self-custody of their assets. Isn't Emboss like a chain analysis sort of thing for Lightning?
They tried to launch that, but didn't get much interest. This is their pivot.
60 Nuts, a NIP 60 Cashew wallet in Python. BTC Nuts server, a Cashew plugin for BTC Pay server. Oh, cool. All right, software release and project updates. Okay, guys, there's a bunch of stuff here too. By the way, we've achieved about 10% of the list so far. And we are about an hour and 10 minutes. So how about any projects you guys want to mention, talk about? Any concerns?
I like Bitcoin.
Anything else? You guys want to address?
Ben, what are you working on?
I don't know if it's probably supposed to talk about it this publicly yet, but
Well, nobody listens to this pod, especially at 1 hour and 10 minutes. So it's essentially your secret is kept with us.
Guaranteed forward privacy.
Guaranteed forward price.
the core idea is like a graduated wallet. Like Mutiny was a graduated wallet where you start in Fediment, and once you have enough money, you're supposed to move to Lightning. And Mutiny no longer exists, but kind of the core idea is like this is how people should try to develop like Lightning wallets in the future. Because today a lot of people are just like going like, no, screw real Lightning, it's too complicated. Let's use Liquid or Spark and just have a Lightning bridge. But the idea is like we have those options to start out in, and then once you have enough balance, you have self-custodial Lightning. And it actually makes it a lot easier for the LSP as well, where they're not like having all these small channels with like, where it's all inbound to the users. They just have all this locked up liquidity forever. So it's better for the user and the LSP. So should be able to get good adoption on that eventually. But I've just started like a month ago, so we have lots of work to do.
I think Zeus is doing something sort of similar where there, I think you can start with eCash, right? And then if once you get more, you can open up a Phoenix style inbound channel. So it's self-custodial.
Yeah, Zeus is doing that. So yeah, like problem like that we're trying to solve is like everyone, if you want to do that today, has to manually implement all the logic and all the like when to switch over and all the multiple protocols. So our goal is to have a library that supports everything and does all the logic for you, and it's all configurable to like what your thresholds and bounds are. But yeah.
And who's we? Who's involved in it?
Me, and then I mean I work at Spiral now, but right now it's like
right,
basically just me working on it.
Is this like adding to LDK or is it a separate thing?
It'll be like its own library on top of LDK.
Okay.
Nice. Ben, you love hopping through controversial entities.
Spiral is not controversial, at least I don't think it is.
It became.
I guess yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I love my grumpy character. And now the boosts. Average Gary, 10,000 sats. Lib Bitcoin kernel maximalist. That's Osmo taking the BitAxe donations. Need more manufacturing implementations just like Core. HGW39, 10K sats. As NVK said, we have the option to not update and run an older version, but Core encourages us to update recent versions for security. This sounds reasonable to me. So what are the security ramifications if you run an older version? Also, you explain the Bitcoin kernel project Craig was talking about. That sounds good. Interesting. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, there really is no security concerns for average person. Most security concerns that Core have of recent are all related to just like having your node taken down, just in terms of crashing it. That's only really a problem for people who have the need to be 24/7 like Lightning nodes.
And it needs to be like public listening, which
exactly
no one does.
Rod Palmer, 5K sats, scolding people who don't run nodes wasn't effective. Telling people they're running a specific flavor of a node make people they don't like extremely mad may just work. Yes.
I wonder what your topic was with this last episode.
Yeah. What could it have been?
I can't even think.
Chris, 5K sats would still love the ability to export a secure node encrypted with BIP85 entropy that can be encrypted at any point in the future by code card running the same seed passphrase combo. A Stacker News poll showed over 50% of users would be interested in this feature.
Well, I'd like that as well. I'd use it to put my passphrases in there and export it and save it.
Hey, I don't want to hear that. Hey, I'm gonna like sit with the guys and think through this. 1K sats, great episode. Bob the Cow, 500 sats. Moo. Plunger 343 sats. Great panel, informative show. Homer Hodo, 120 sats for the block clock refresh. How about the ability to set a threshold to update the display quicker than the default? Yeah, no, man. If we do that, you're going to kill your e-ink display. That's why we don't. But who knows? Maybe we find a different e-ink display technology and use that. Cool, guys. Anything else? Any final thoughts, guys? Praveen?
Try the wallet. Everyone's been very nice with the feedback. Feel free to give me some critical feedback as well. Let me know. Collecting ideas for the future, so that'll also be helpful. Where you guys think it should go. If there's any problems, all feedback is welcome.
Dan?
Bullish. Also, the VRCA thing is very important. Call your congressman about getting LSPs to be legal.
What's it called?
VRCA, it's like Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act. Basically, like right now, it's illegal to run an LSP, and or it's very unsure if it's legal, and this would make it legal.
Right.
Right now, you're kind of relying on like the Trump admin to not prosecute you, but I think this is like, let's future-proof it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also similar to like CoinJoin stuff, where like the Samourai guys were charged for needing a money transmitter, even though they're non-custodial. It's like this would like help protect people like them as well.
My sister works at the Bitcoin Policy Institute, and they're doing the Bitcoin Policy Summit in June 25th and 26th. I think there's still tickets available. I don't know, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna lobby. I'm gonna be a lobbyist. So that should be fun.
Boy. Is that your final thoughts? I'm going to be a lobbyist?
No, that's not my final thoughts. That was an add-on to Ben's final thought. I have to figure out what Ben's talking about so that I can lobby about it. My final thought, I've been playing around with Spark a little bit. I played around with Breeze, node lists, and I did a project recently on Arc. And then there's all this cashew stuff. What a fun time to be a wallet dev. It's pretty wild out there.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for giving an hour and a half of your time to review wallets and also really review your apps and take feedback. That was great.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback.
I hope you remember your password.
Yeah, I think I've already forgotten it. With that, thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Later.
Thanks for listening. For more resources, check the show notes. We put a lot of effort into them. And remember, we don't have a crystal ball, so let us know about your project. Visit bitcoin.review to find out how to get in touch.